to November 25's Lift. We're going to start with Tell Us Something Good. Who's got good news to share? And who's got good news to share?
I do.
Go ahead.
We hosted a blood drive with Vital Blood Services here yesterday in the Market Center. Appointments were booked. 50 people donated blood yesterday in this weird time right before the holidays. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And I just am thankful and grateful for everybody. And Russ, whenever you come to the time where we need to talk about events, I need 30 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Great. So blood drive in Frisco. Any other good news? Don't be shy, people. I want to say thanks to Joan and Rod and Will and Scott, who were at the ALC clinic with us last week at the Denver Aquarium. That was fun. I've never been allowed to pet a porcupine before, so that was kind of cool. Joan, did you see the porcupine? Oh, you're on mute.
I got pictures of him. I saw him inside and outside walking around on his leash.
Yeah, porcupine on a leash. That's a first for me. So
it was great. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's continue. So we've got some announcements to make. We've got the KW Top of the Rockies holiday party at the AC Hotel in Frisco, 5 o'clock on the 3rd. And then on the 4th, we've got the Vail holiday party at the Rose in Edwards at 4 o'clock on the 4th. Our next, Mountain Properties will have a team meeting on the 9th. Top of the Rockies will have a team meeting also on the 9th. By the way, we have two more sessions of this Tuesday Lift next week. And then we're skipping the 9th and doing the 16th. More on that coming soon. KW is doing a virtual event called Tech the Halls, and that is 9 to 2, and we will be streaming it in both market centers. We have our next Colorado Regional Rally on December 15th. More details about that coming soon. The Mountain Luxury Collab Zoom is on the is at 1 o'clock on the 16th of December. And then we are unstaffed in the market centers 24 through 26. You can call us, but we're not going to answer. There's a couple save the dates as well. On January 9th in Denver, Jason Abrams is coming, and he's going to be teaching Call to Play, Win the Day. And then he's also going to be doing a special ALC mastermind after. So if you are an ALC member, stay for the whole day. If you are a non-ALC member, it's just the morning. Call to Play, Win the Day with Jason Abrams. And that class is getting really great feedback. So I think it's a good investment of your time. It's going to be on the south side of Denver at, I cannot remember the name of the venue, but it'll be in the newsletters that we're emailing out. South side of Denver, easy to get to. We are having a virtual tech event on the 29th of January. Details coming on that soon. Save that date in your calendar. And then if you're looking to add leverage to your life, maybe hire an assistant, or maybe just get some strategies on how to work more efficiently, the Leverage Series with Wendy Papazan is in Denver on February 4 and 5. Couple KW family reunion things before I go to Leslie. I haven't forgotten about you, Leslie. Family reunion is in Atlanta, the 21st through the 24th. They keep adding speakers. So first we announced that Jay Shetty was going to be a keynote. Then we talked about Will Leak and the social media con. And then we said that at the CEO Summit, which is $199 extra, and it's on Saturday, Will Guidara, who wrote Unreasonable Hospitality, was speaking. And they just told us last week that Gary Vaynerchuk is speaking, which is really pretty exciting, especially if you're looking to increase your digital presence and figure out how to get more clicks and click-throughs and calls as a result of clicks. So you will want to attend. You have to fly in Friday to go to the CEO Summit. CEO Summit and see Will Guidara. But if you fly in Saturday, you can go to Social Media Con, and it's included in the price. And Sunday will be all social media for the entire day, hosted by Ryan Leake. I think that's the day Gary Vaynerchuk is speaking, so that's pretty exciting. Leslie, did you want to say something?
I do. Thank you so much. Hey, especially Frisco, Summit County people, there is an event called Wassail Days that the town of Frisco puts on every year from Thanksgiving weekend for just 1 week. So the 29th, I believe, through December 7th. If you want the walk-in leads, be here in the office. We do have a sign up for front desk shifts that are on the Friday Focus, which Marielle will send out again today or tomorrow as the Friday Focus. Please sign up so that you can get your unfair share of the leads. And you're also going to have to make sure that the Wassail's here. I'll make sure that it's here and you have all of the instructions. But every day we need to be open for Wassail. So if you have questions, let me know. Thank you.
And you're not saying waffle, you're saying wassail.
Wassail, here we come, a wassailing.
Got it. Okay.
Google it.
ChatGPT that. Trail reports. So here's results from October, and you see KWRI's numbers. And remember, in these 8 agent performance categories, pink means that growth was either negative or not very positive. It's anything below 10% growth. And so you can see that KW, which basically follows the market, KW is down on closings. It's down on listings taken. Down on listings taken, up on listings sold, which is curious, and down a little bit on contracts written. We expect KWRI's numbers to be approximately like the market in general. So it's going to follow the headlines. The region, Colorado region, which is 21 market centers, exact same year over year numbers for closed units. The region is outperforming Keller International on listings taken, which probably says a little bit more about Colorado as a market than it does about any particular market center's performance. We are underperforming KWRI on listings sold, and that's definitely a market-driven thing because we're struggling on getting our takens to turn into solds in the area. And then contracts written is very similar. Now, the Altitude Board of Realtors and Top of the Rockies, the board's up 3% this year. Top of the Rockies for closings up 32. The board's up 2% for listings taken. Top of the Rockies up 11.5. The board is up 3% for listings closed. Top of the Rockies, drum roll, up 25.4. And the board doesn't publish numbers on contracts written, but we're up 40% there. So the bottom line, Top of the Rockies, is we are outperforming the board, which is outperforming the region, which is outperforming KWRI in most categories. So great job. Please note this, and this is great news. Top of the Rockies, your listings taken are up 11%. Your listings sold are up 25.4. And I think that speaks to focusing on getting listings sold. Vail. I'm not going to go over the KWRI numbers or the region numbers because they're exactly the same. The Board of Realtors for Vail down 8% in closed units while we're up 21. Wow. Listings taken up 9, and that's still pink because it's not up enough per our system that we're using here with pink and green. Up 9 for listings taken while we're up a whopping 36.9. That's really great. This is where it gets really interesting. Listings sold are down 8% for the Vail Board of Realtors while we're up 35.8. And I think that's amazing. Look at this number, by the way. This is October 25 versus October 24. So we had a really good October. And we're up 25% almost in contracts written. So great job, everybody. I think these are great numbers. I like when both market centers are outperforming the board. Some recognition really quickly. For Summit, Carrie George was number 8 for the region in closed volume with 4.8 million, and she was number 6 as a solo agent for GCI with 117,827 bucks. Good job, Carrie. Great job, Carrie. Is she here? No, it's here. Signature Home Team in Estes Park was number 5 in closed units for the month of October, and so was J Lux Mountain Homes, Jennifer and team. They tied with closed units at number 5 in the region. J Lux was also number 5 for closed volume and number 9 for GCI. Summit, Brooke was number 2 for the region in closed volume. Great job, Brooke. 7.4 million. Number 2 for GCI with 173,345 bucks. And Allie, thank you for your donations to KW Cares. Number 1 for the region, and that's not the first time you've been on the regional KW Cares list, so we appreciate you. By the way, both Summit and Vail are going to hit the $5,000 as they call it at KW, tithe requested for market centers. So thank you all for being generous and giving back to our charity. I'm excited that Jennie Wolek is here. I'm not going to read her bio because we get her in person. What I love about this is Jennie is so generous to share time with us. She was at the Rocky Mountain Summit back in September. And Jennie, what were you talking about there? Referrals from agents, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to talk with you on this topic that I've been teaching and sharing a lot lately, not only with my team here in Tulsa, but also just with agents across the country. Tell me the flow, Russ. You want me just to hop into it and get us
You
started?
hop in and then we'll do a little Q&A because whenever we get
Okay.
a top agent, we want to ask you questions.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly through these slides just so that I touch on a lot of stuff due to time's sake, but I'm happy to share them with you guys later. And it's really just kind of a mindset and a way to think about our business during these shifting markets and times. But first off, congratulations on all of your hard work. That was amazing, all of your production and sticking with it through a changing market. Well, like I said, I'm Jennie Wolek from Tulsa. I got to see so many of you recently. I loved your event. It was just an amazing time. Thank you for having me. And so this is something I actually heard from a friend, Jen Davis. She's an amazing coach and leader and agent. And so she was talking with my team at our mid-year review about how to keep during changing times, navigating new markets, how to stay focused. And this is another time, right? This holiday season time of year, we want to stay in business, we want to stay in production, but we also need to take time with our families and those that we love, especially this holiday week. I hope everyone has a great Turkey Day. But I'm just going to work through thinking sharing some thoughts with you guys. I mean, what does it mean to be an agent in an ever-changing market? I am blessed to have been in this business for 25 years now, coming up in January. That's a lot of years. And the truth is that I don't have a backup plan. And I hope that you believe that you can succeed no matter what's happening in the market and that your mindset is strong to help you push through all of that. Because there's always going to be something that comes our way, whether it's an economic change or political change or the weather. I'm certain you guys get all kinds of weather that could hold you back from getting out there and helping your clients. But we're going to talk about these three little ways of and buckets of focus, which is first up, head down. Let me come back here. Let me show you my graphic here. So here we're going to talk about our head down. We're going to talk about heart up and feet forward. Okay. So let's start here first with head down. So what does it mean to have our head down? Now, you maybe even have heard Gary Keller mention these ideas before. Well, head down, especially in ever-changing markets, is to control what you can control. Focus on what you can have, the ability to manage yourself. And this really includes our attitude and our effort. And so if we're thinking about it, this is our focus, our discipline, and we've got to show up and do the work. Well, things that I think about a lot are just where do we start each day? We've got this morning routine. And so, what is your morning routine looking like? I know that especially it gets colder outside. I don't want to get out and go to the gym or exercise, but I know that that is one of the lead dominoes in getting my day off on the right foot. And so, especially in this quieter, slower season, that you get the opportunity to think about how you want to launch into the next year. Remember, all the work you're doing right now is going to show up in that first quarter. And so, do you want to have a strong January and February? I know I do. And so, if you even go into your MREA book on page 308, this is, I believe, one of the best tools for time blocking. It's right there. It's the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Energy Plan. And that's your time blocks for waking up and thinking, and whether it's prayer or meditation and getting into exercise and eating healthy and hugging and laughing and kissing and hanging out with your puppies and cuddling, or planning and calendaring and getting into action with lead gen. And then, as you guys know, the job description of a real estate agent is also another time block. Do you have on your calendar, be really honest with yourself, a bucket of time that is for purposeful, productive connecting with people? And then following up that is on your time block. And then also time to go on appointments, to negotiate contracts, to practice your skills in role playing. And you just really also have to just tune out the noise and keep the things that are happening around you, again, that you have no control over, just out of the way of your focus. All right, so here's the reality. Now, I just saw your market stats. I know you guys are crushing it. And still, we always have to be understanding what is going on. I definitely saw the data. You obviously are having, like everyone else, more days on the market. Well, what can we understand and share with our clients and our community, whether it's at the listing appointment or working with buyers at the consultation? How can we help them understand the reality of today's market? It's very different from even a year ago or a year before. I love using tools that already exist. I don't want to go reinvent the wheel. So I'd encourage you over this little holiday break, if you haven't revisited Shift Tactics 7 and 9, then that is a great time. Tactic 7 is all about buyers and conversations of how you can really share with them the reality of the market. And then Tactic 9 is for sellers. And to be honest, I used to just play these on a CD in my car as I was going up to an appointment. I would put in the appropriate tactic and it would help me. So I was able to have better conversations with my clients so that they priced it correctly so that it would sell. Because we know the longer it stays on the market over time, the less money that they may need to take. So these are some tactics. Sorry, doorbell just rang. These are some tactics like time blocking. You guys understand the value of that. Daily lead gen. Just determine a metric that will really help you see that you won the day. Understanding your numbers. I know this is all a part of your business planning classes and trainings that you're probably working on right now or you've already done, which is great. And just know your goals. I have a YouTube channel now. It's called Your Journey with Jennie, and I've just posted these long form videos on the GPS and the 411 that really give you some practical tips and tools that you guys should go check out and make sure that you're utilizing tools that will really keep you focused. All right, we know that discipline is devotion to your future version of yourself. All right, we're moving on to heart up because I want to have time for us to mastermind at the end. So you can imagine, well, heart means you're going to lead with care, compassion, and conversations. We know that the words that we use are either helping or hurting, and we want to be the kind of professional salespeople who allow our clients to feel and know that we care about them because we do. And that's how you establish this trust during changing markets. We got to start with, why are we doing this work? This is just from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You've heard the question about the big why. I like working through different versions of a mission statement exercise, which I love to teach and share. No time for that today, but understanding that when you are connected to why you are doing this business, you will eliminate or postpone the burnout. If you've been in any form of burnout ever in your business or your life, you know it's probably because you're not working in alignment with your values and your business. They aren't connecting. And so making sure, especially in changing seasons and holiday seasons, we want to stay in alignment with us. Our clients just need to first off just know that we've got them, that they can trust us. And how we get to do that is by having better conversations. I love to say live your purpose and love your people. When you are in alignment with your values and what matters most to you and loving on your people and giving back and knowing that this business, I'm only 25 years in now, is a long game. Yes, you need right now business, of course. You need those skills to get people to do make moves during their life events when it's time for that. But loving on our people is really the most important. And how can we do that? How can we show heart, deepen in the relationships? Staying in touch with them. I have a class that I just created called People Over Prompts. And this is that the reminder in this new world of AI, which it's everywhere, and we need to understand it and even utilize it. And still, now more than ever, it's so important to be real. So be real. Show your people that you care, your community, you give back, you are a good human. And Phil Jones, I know you guys know Phil, he was at the summit as well, and he teaches this 5-step dance. And I love this reminder for you guys as you're thinking through how do I deepen connection and relationships with my people? Well, it starts with questions, as you know, curious questions, as Phil teaches us. And that leads to the conversation, a two-way back and forth. And then we have now a relationship. And in that relationship, guess what can happen? Opportunities. And that the opportunities that gets us into action or them into action, or maybe we realize there is no action and we can move on from that relationship. Whatever it is, it always starts with questions. And you guys know this phrase is that people don't care how much you know until they don't know. I can't even read. You guys got it. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And Theodore Roosevelt said that. Now we get into feet forward. Let's keep running through these slides so we can have some time to chat. Feet forward is all about, you guessed it, get moving, keep serving, keep growing, keep going. We know that forward motion will build momentum, adapt and change if needed. So, what are your mindset shifts when it's into feet forward? And Jen Davis shared this, and I loved it. And I think it's something to jot down in your notes here was sometimes you're feeling beat up. I know that we didn't achieve the goal that we had set out this year. We didn't. We came short of it. And so we can sometimes allow that loss or challenge or struggle to just weigh us down. But instead think back or journal through this is when was the last time that I was winning? What season of life was I crushing it? Whether it's business or personal. Think about it. What were you doing? How were you showing up? How did you feel? How'd you look? And when you think about that, then you can pull that winning you into today's mindset and allows you to get up and get going and keep growing through the new seasons. So some strategies to implement here is having little breaks and check-ins. We have a quarterly review. I'm already blocking it out for 2026 so you can pause and say, how are we doing so far? Do we need to adjust or amend or reset on our goals? I know that another strategy to implement is to pour into your people. Whenever you give to others, you tend to get back, and it's always in a good, positive way. And then lastly, want to ask curious questions. Again, you can guess that I'm going to talk about Phil here because he's always the question guy. And so he talks about this triangle, and you guys can jot this down in your notes. This is the 3 critical ingredients of influence. Well, just imagine in the middle of this triangle, it says trust. And so we establish trust by having curiosity, so curious questions, and that leads to having certainty about how you could then help your people. And the empathy comes when you ask great questions, they feel that you got them and you become relatable. They feel a connection and they know that you actually care. And then that allows you to have the courage that is needed to then take action. Whether you are sitting with a client or just a colleague or a friend, no matter what, everything establishes trust through asking great questions. And Adam Grant said that you build confidence by taking action. So this is the feet forward section. So we got to keep going and keep growing. And so we know, though, that the ones who are winning in this market are the ones that stay focused. You guys are staying focused. I saw your numbers. You're staying grounded and you're staying in motion. And so, where do you need to realign? I shared this one-page printout with Russ, and he can share it with you guys as just a PDF print off. But I've been sharing this with others because it's a really great way to just think about how you want to move forward, even if it's just in the next three, as we get to next 30 days, as we're wrapping up this year. And so, this is called the GROW model, and maybe you've heard of it before. But on your worksheet, you'll see whenever you work through this is thinking of what is your goal. So you could say, I have a future goal in the next 30 days. I want to achieve this goal. Or you can use it as a reflection piece and you can say, what was my goal? All right. So what is your goal? What is your reality in relation to that goal? And what are your options or your opportunities? And then what will you do now that you've thought through these things? And so I just would want you guys to remember that no matter what's happening in the market, we just have to keep our head down, doing the work that we know we're supposed to do, following our schedule, time blocking the things that matter most. We need to, care with our heart, give back to our people and our community, and we got to keep in motion. We got to keep going through all of the different markets. So that is a really fast head down, heart up, feet forward. And I would love to just hear what else can you guys think about in, changing markets or a season of slow where we sometimes get to the holidays and people are, I don't know, not you guys, because you're showing up on the Tuesday of Thanksgiving, but most other agents are ready to take off for the rest of the year, right? So let me hear from you guys, either some questions or some ahas.
Jenny, I wanted to remind everybody that I emailed you that worksheet that Jenny just referenced, and it's also in the chat. Marielle just popped it in there.
Perfect.
And it has those questions.
Awesome.
Allie.
Hi, thank you so much, Jenny, for walking us through this. It's awesome.
Yeah.
My question for you is, I feel like I poured everything into my work this year and I didn't hit my goals. But that's partly the market as well. I can't influence that, so that's completely fine. However, I wanted to know, is it okay? I mean, I'm sure it is, but whatever. I'm trying to take the month of November to be like, okay, reflection. Like, I'm doing my phone calls. I'm doing something new that I haven't done before in my business. Sending everyone Christmas cards. I've never done that because I hate it. It's an executive functioning task that sucks the life out of me. But I'm going to do it. But otherwise, I'm trying to be okay with being chill because I'm always like going, 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 going. And I mean, I was talking to Rebecca Fishkin and she's like, that's classic burnout. And because you can only go so much against a brick wall before you lose, you're not going to win. So what do you do when, is it okay to take not like a whole month off? I mean, if clients come to me, that's great, but like being okay with just chilling out a little bit to reflect on what you've done. I don't know. Is that have you seen that be very helpful to people where they relaunch themselves, or is that am I just wasting time?
Yes. Rest and recovery is a key part. And if you have gotten to the point that you feel like you need a whole month of it, then that probably means January through October, you weren't taking some time off. Is that true?
Yeah, probably. I was just always pushing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I learned this. This is a fun little hack that I can share with you guys. So Jordan Freed was my coach for many, many years. He's like the guru man of coaching. And so he shared this tip with me, and he calls it the 137. Have you guys heard of the 137?
Mhm.
Okay, so he calls it W137. I'm going to start with the 137. So if you just want to write this down, one means that each week, real estate agents, each week you take a day off, a full day off of real estate. Probably best to be a weekend because that's when the rest of the world is usually taking off as well, like the title company, lenders, all those people. So try and make it a Saturday or Sunday if possible. The three, that's just one per month. Now, the three is that each I'm sorry, it's one per week, one day off per week. The three is that it's a 3-day weekend once per month. Sometimes real estate agents start shaking whenever I say these take time off. And the reality is that most of the months offer a holiday up inside of that, right? Like a natural 3-day weekend that you could probably get away with it. I know some of you might be like, but that's when my clients are available or in town. Okay, well, then maybe find somebody to help out with showings or whatever. The cool part is, and you guys, I'm the biggest calendar nerd. I've already got my 2026 calendar here. I'm already going out into the month at a glance and blocking off these important personal and family vacations and time. Okay, so 3 days off in a month, and then seven, this is where y'all start shaking, 7 days off in a quarter, each quarter, each quarter. You got it? Each quarter. Is it doable?
Jennie,
Maybe. Yes.
this is Rebecca
Hi,
Fishkin.
Rebecca.
Thank you so much for sharing this. And I also want to add to what Jennie's saying. This does not mean that the 3 days, the one day you take off a week and the 3-day weekend total 7 days.
Right.
This means that in addition to the one day off and the one weekend and the 7 days a quarter is additional to what she's saying. Jennie, you are amazing. Thank you for being
No,
here.
listen. Thank you for that clarification, Rebecca. And the truth is that sometimes this may be a big stretch and you may need to work your way up to this. You may need to start with baby steps. Don't go all in and overwhelm yourself and then you're like, forget it, I give up. And then you get to where you need a whole month off, right? So we want to just baby step these changes if you aren't used to it. Now, the kicker with this is he called it a W is a part of the equation and W squared actually, and he called it Wellness Wednesday. And so I really enjoyed implementing the Wellness Wednesday. So what that means is each week it can be Wednesday, but or mine's it tends to be Tuesday sometimes because that's the way my calendar works. Pick a day in the middle of the week that you could take an afternoon off. This is your weekly reset. Okay, so for me, I have each month a massage booked on a Wednesday afternoon, and then maybe the next Wednesday might be a mani-pedi in the afternoon, or that's when I get my hair cut and I get my head massaged and I'm relaxing. So, like, plan out that whether it's Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, it just needs to be in the middle of the week because I know you guys, you're going to probably keep working through the weekend. And so now
Right.
you look back and you go, I worked every freaking day this whole year and I'm miserable because I've had the burnout. I don't want you all to have the burnout. I had the burnout that turned into a breakdown that I hated people, and I don't want you guys to get there, right? But on the other side of a breakdown, what happens? The breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
Yeah. So, Allie, as you're giving yourself grace because you deserve it through this season, just know that you're resetting and then you can launch back up again whenever you've reset yourself. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Good.
Other questions or comments for Jennie? Jenny, I loved what you shared here. Some of us get an email from Gary Keller that he started recently, and I don't know if it's called the lead or the chew. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the chew.
Yeah.
Gary, so I think leadership gets one called the lead, and agents get one called the chew. And Gary always puts a handwritten like letter in it. And if you read if you've read them over the last few months, they usually start like this, Allie. I'm bringing this back to your really good comment. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. And I gotta say, this morning I woke up and I have the email in my inbox, and today's started at it's 5:30 in the morning and I can't sleep. And I always get a little stressed out reading about the founder of our company and how early he gets up in the morning and he can't sleep because he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And basically the rest of this handwritten letter, and there's a PDF version so that you can read the handwriting, but the rest of the letter is how Gary worked out the problem that caused him to wake up in the middle of the night. And it always ends with, I rolled over and went back to sleep. But my point in saying this is, I think all of us in the type of businesses that we're doing find that burnout is just right around the corner because we work with crazy people, we work with crazy agents, we deal with crazy things. And even the founder of our company finds himself waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning feeling like it's just too much. And that's why I think Gary, like what Jenny just shared, says the very first thing you do for 2026 is plan your vacation. And I like Jordan's strategy, and Gary's strategy was always 1 week a quarter you take off. And I think it's absolutely important because, you know, I'm leaving town tomorrow at 5 a.m. and I will get so much done today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody texted me a minute ago and said, I want to write an offer on that house that you showed me yesterday. And I will get that done. And the house will be clean and everything will be ready. I'm going to bake a couple turkeys. Like everything's going to be done so that I can get on the plane tomorrow and be at my daughter's for Thanksgiving tomorrow afternoon. So anyway, plan the vacation first. It's huge because our lives can be really nuts.
That's right.
Jenny, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I loved seeing your smiling faces, and I'm happy for all of your production. And I know that you guys are absolutely keeping your head down and your heart up and your feet forward in this season of real estate. And the fun part is it always changes.
Right. Jenny, would you mind putting your contact info in the chat so we can send you referrals when they come to us?
Absolutely. You know, the best way, guys, oh, there's the little worksheet there. The best way to find me is Your Journey with Jennie, Jennie. I have a YouTube channel. I have a website with all my info everywhere. And then also on Facebook, I have a Facebook group. Yes, see, there you go. Your Journey with Jennie. Thanks for letting me hang out, and
All right.
you guys are
Thanks for
so
being
awesome.
here. Jenny mentioned prompts a second ago, and if you look in your inbox, I sent you a prompt this morning, and I sent you one last week. And these are suggestions for our new BrokerBot tool. Last week's was a full prompt on how to use Marcus Sheridan's strategies to put together some content for your YouTube channel so that you can get better SEO optimization, what is the word? SEO optimization and better large language model or chat GPT or AI optimization. Today's prompt that I'm recommending is about time management. It actually falls right into this conversation that we just had. And the reason we're doing this is I want to show you all the things that BrokerBot can do. So we're giving you some prompts. I'm also doing it because you don't know everything we put in there. So sometimes it gets a little hard to know what to ask BrokerBot to do. I love that every morning when I wake up, I see tons of you using the tool and we want your feedback. So let us know if it's working for you. On December 2nd, we have top luxury agent from Santa Barbara, Steve Epstein, coming to our chair chat. That's next Tuesday. And as I mentioned earlier, we won't be meeting on the 9th because there's some regional meetings that we have to do, but we'll be back on the 16th. And I'm excited about the panel discussion we're going to have on the 16th. I hope you all have an awesome Thanksgiving. See you in December.